Hi, I'm Gary Thompson, and welcome to another edition of Boyle Talks. Today we'll be talking with Noah McKinney, who works in our commercial sales and leasing office as a space planner. Noah, tell us what you do as a space planner for our commercial sales and leasing department.
My job is to design that space so that that client is happy and also meet their requirements. I have to envision and have an understanding of how the tenant wants their space laid out.
And so you're setting the tone for how this business presents itself to the world. But also how their employees function day to day.
Day to day, in a day-to-day aspect.
So that's like a really important job.
Here at Boyle, I also worked on office plans. I've done some retail space. I worked on restaurants. Here,
it's very diverse.
It's very diverse.
Right.
Exactly.
So when people come in and they're starting a new business or expanding in a business, or the fact that they're coming to us for new office space, do they know what it is they want?
Every tenant has a different, unique style of how they want their spaces laid out.
Sure. And a vibe.
And a vibe.
Right.
You know, some tenants like, more open plans.
Right.
Some tenants like more office intense plans.
And does everybody that leases office space have a Noah?
In my 26 years of experience, I worked for two companies. I worked for my previous company, which is Long & Foster, and Boyle. And I noticed that with both of these companies, we have an in-house planner. And the advantage of having an in-house planner is, one, designs are done in a timely manner.
Right.
Two, it allows for flexibility to revise plans quickly.
Right.
Three, there's no loss in communication when you have an in-house planner.
Right.
And four, you only have one phone number that you have to keep on speed dial.
Right. Right. Are you starting to get familiar with the buildings and the spaces, or is that there's so much that you just hadn't, it's all new every day?
When you first come to a job, you're learning from the previous employee, but then you set up your own structure of how you want things done. So I kind of organize the files to where I can put my hands on it right away, if need be. If you come in and say, no, I need a copy of, a building, 949, for example. I know where it is. I can pull it to you. I can get it to you in a timely manner.
What's something that tenants don't really ever think about that they need to think about?
So when you're designing, say if it's a 5,000 square feet space, okay, you have to accommodate those
in
things
addition
to their program.
Right.
Exactly.
So don't think of that. What about an office tenant? Are there similar things for an office tenant?
For office tenants, not a lot similar. As long as you meet the requirements of, make sure everything meets ADA accessibility.
Right.
The one thing that we're doing now in these office spaces that I noticed that when I started working here was the break room. Break rooms have to meet ADA accessibility. The countertop has to be, the sink has to be ADA accessible, so that person who's in a wheelchair can actually pull up to that sink.
Right.
Or if there's a drinking fountain, that person in a wheelchair, or not even a wheelchair, has to be able to access that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it rewarding, Noah, when a tenant comes to you and lays out this program, and you go through all of the design process, all of the documentation, all the permitting, the construction, and then you see their face when they walk into that space for the first time and realize, wow, that's got to be a cool feeling.
It's very rewarding. I mean, a feeling of that you have accomplished something.
Right.
In my 26 years of working in this industry, there have been some spaces that I have not seen. Right. But, when I see that space, it just is like, wow, Noah, you really did a great job.
Noah, thank you for joining us today on Boyle Talks. It's really exciting to hear what you do and how you help Boyle's customers.
Gary, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed the conversation.
And thank you for joining us for another episode of Boyle Talks. For more information about Boyle or any of our communities, visit us at boyle.com.